Hello. People are joining probably. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay. The last class we have discussed circular convolution, right?
Yes, sir.
Circular convolution. Any problem? Circular convolution?
No, sir.
No problem, right?
স্যার থার্ড মেথডটা যেটা দিয়েছিলেন ওটা কি মানে ওটা বাদ দিলে হয় না, মানে ওটা টাইম লাগছে বুঝতে।
হ্যাঁ, যে কোনো থার্ড মেথডটা পরীক্ষায় থার্ড মেথডটা লিখে আসবে না হয়তো, পরীক্ষায় তো বলেছে ওই সেকেন্ডটা করবে, আর কিন্তু তাড়াতাড়ি করার জন্য ম্যাট্রিক্সটা করবে। ঠিক আছে, আমরা জানতে হবে। আচ্ছা, আমি একটা জিনিস থার্ড মেথডে বলার চেষ্টা করেছি টোটাল। Regarding this method, what I am saying now, one important aspect that probably whether I have mentioned or not, I don't know. There is an important aspect
স্যার কনভলিউশন আইডিএফটিটা করিয়ে দেবেন না, না ওটা নিজেকে করতে হবে?
convolution
ওই সার্কুলার কনভলিউশনের ডিএফটিটা তো আপনি করে দিয়েছিলেন, আর আইডিএফটিটা ওটা
করেছি তো, প্রথমটাই তো আইডিএফটি ইউজ করে।
ফার্স্টে যেটা করি,
হ্যাঁ, ফার্স্ট মেথড যেটা, ফার্স্ট মেথডটা আইডিএফটি ইউজ করে, ওর বাইরে আর কিছু নাই।
আচ্ছা,
প্রথম মেথডটা যেটা কনভলিউশনের ফার্স্ট মেথডটা কোনটা? এই যে
ওটাই
ফার্স্ট মেথডটা আইডিএফটি দিয়ে, ঠিক আছে? ফার্স্ট মেথডটা আইডিএফটি দিয়ে, আর তার পরের মেথডটা সঞ্জনা। ওকে, তার পরের মেথডটা, আচ্ছা এইখানে একটা জিনিস আমার বলার আছে, এইটা হচ্ছে ট্যাবুলার মেথডটা না, এইটাই বাজে গন্ডগোল।
এই থার্ডটা এটা প্রবলেম হচ্ছে। হ্যাঁ,
প্রবলেম হচ্ছে তো,
ভুলে যাচ্ছি।
হ্যাঁ
1 2 1 2 আছে তো, তো যখন লিখবো তখন এই দিক থেকে আর লিখবো, যখন এখান থেকে যদি 1 2 1 2
না স্যার, আপনি দুটো আলাদা নিন না, মানে 1 2 1 2 ছেড়ে 1 3 এরকম করে নিন, তাহলে বুঝতে সুবিধা হবে।
সাপোজ ইট ইজ 1 2 3 4, সাপোজ।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
1 2 3 4, তাহলে এখানে আমি কি লিখবো? 4 3 2।
4 3 2 আছে উল্টো দিক।
স্যার ওই এক্সো মাইনাস এম যেটা লিখেছেন ওটা কিভাবে স্যার করব?
এটা মাইনাস এম লিখছি, মানে আমি এটা লিখবো যখন মাইনাস এম, তখন আমি লিখবো 0 থেকে, কারণ 0 থেকে না লিখলে আমার শেষ, এই মাইনাস এম তো 0 থেকে লিখবো, ঠিক আছে? আর যখন আমি 1 লিখবো তখন 1 থেকে লিখবো, 1 থেকে এদিকে লিখতে লাগবে। আর যখন আমি 2 লিখবো তখন 2
1 থেকে লেফট সাইডে
লিখতে লাগবো, ঠিক আছে? আর যখন আমি 2 থেকে লিখবো তখন 2 থেকে লেফট সাইড লিখতে লাগবো, ঠিক আছে? যখন আমি 3 টা লিখবো তখন 3 থেকে লেফট সাইড লিখতে লাগবো। ওকে, so when we will starting from x of x2 of minus m, x2 of minus m means we start from 0. Okay, x2 of 1 minus m will start from 1, x2 of 2 minus m we will start from 2, x2 of 3 minus m we will start from 3, and 3 to the left. Starting from 3 we will writing to the left. Now while writing this sequence, then I will read like this 2 1 2, so I will fill 2 1 2. I will read like this 2 1, so I will write 2 1. I will read 2, so I will read right here. So this will be the way of doing it. So if you are still having doubt, then I will take another example. Right now I don't have written the example. I'll take another example and discuss, not an issue. Anyway, this method is also very, very simple. Okay, now another important thing I want to mention in this particular. Okay. Are you listening?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
আচ্ছা বলছে
স্যার আপনার স্ক্রিনটা দেখতে পাচ্ছি না হট করে।
এখন দেখতে পাচ্ছ? এখন
আপনাকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি
স্ক্রিনটা দেখতে পাচ্ছ না?
না স্ক্রিন শেয়ার বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে।
স্ক্রিন শেয়ারটা বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে?
শেয়ারটা বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে। হ্যাঁ
এবার হয়েছে?
হ্যাঁ
Okay, now see, if I look at this equation, now x2 of 1, x2 of minus m, x1 of m, right? Now if you look at this equation, then what is the value of m? M will start from 0 to 3. M will start from 0 and going up to 3, right? So what is the first value? What is the first value? First value will be x1 of 0, x2 of 0 modulus 4. Next value?
x1 1, x1 or x2 minus 1 mod 4.
x2 of minus 1 mod 4
plus 3.
তাই না? x2 of plus 3, that means x1 of 0, x2 of 0, x1 of 1, x2 of 3, তাই না? देखो x1 of 0 से x2 of 0 से मल्टीप्लाई किया था, x1 of 1 x2 of 3 से मल्टीप्लाई किया था, right? Last class when I have said that you multiply with x1 of 1 into x2 of 3, x1 of 0 x2 of 0, x1 of 2 x2 of 2, x1 of 3 x2. Why such multiplication? Why? Thus explanation coming from here, right? That is I didn't mention, probably you also didn't ask, but I thought I should have explained that why this kind of multiplication taking place, right? This is coming from this formula. What is the next term? Next term mean corresponding to m equal to 2. তাহলে x1 of 2 will be multiplied of x2 of minus 2 mod 4, x2 of 2. Then you see x2 of 2, x2 of 2. Similarly, next term will be x1 of 3, x2 of minus 3 mod 4.
1 x2 1.
x2 of 1.
Now you have understood why this is like this. Therefore, this is coming from the equation. From this, we have to have another learning, another important point to note. If at all you come across anything negative, like x2 of minus m or x1 of minus m, anything is negative, always you should have a mod 4 operation, modulo n operation, because in circular setting, the time is already positive. There is no positive or negative scale. Only thing clockwise and anti-clockwise convention. Therefore, what my point is, in DFT, FFT or inverse DFT, whenever you come across anything minus n, that will mean that minus n modulo n operation. Agreed? Anything comes negative within the bracket means it's a modulo n operation. Clear? Very good. Now, once you have cleared this one, then we'll go to the next topic of discussion. That these are the things over. Next, we'll go to the next topic of discussion. Next topic of discussion means some more properties. We'll see one by one. Now, suppose this is an example. This is an university problem that I have taken. It is said that x of n equal to minus 1 to the power n, n equal to 16. N equal to 16. Now, for such kind of problem, this was asked in university. For such kind of problem, if you go for matrix method, then this will be very bleak, because you have to fill up 16 by 16 matrix. Right? N equal to 16 means you have to multiply two matrix, x multiplied by two-ideal factor matrix. Now, two-ideal factor matrix will be 16 by 16. 16 by 16 means how many elements? 256 elements. Right? So this is difficult to solve in that way. For such kind of problem, how to solve? This is the procedure how to solve. What I have to write? X of k equal to n equal to n minus 1, x of n e power minus j 2 pi k n by n. This is the basic definition of DFT. Now, what I am writing? Xn equal to minus 1 to the power n. Now, n equal to 16 means I will write n equal to 0 to 15. Agreed?
Yes.
And instead of n, I will write 16. Okay. Now, I am writing n equal to 0 to 15. Then I am taking minus inside. So, minus e power minus j pi by 8k, because 2 pi by 16 equal to pi by 8. And minus is taken inside, whole to the power n. Agreed? Now, if you look at this summation, k equal to 0 to n minus 1 r to the power n, which I am writing s equal to 1 plus r up to r to the power n minus 1. This is equal to 1 minus r to the power n by 1 minus r. Agreed? This part. Then, if this n is 15, right? N minus 1 is 15 now from this. So this will be 1 minus of this, minus this r equal to minus of this. So 1 minus this to the power 16 minus 1 minus e power minus j pi by 8 by k, 1 minus r. Agreed? I hope it's all right.
Yes.
Fine. Now this is equal to 1 minus, if minus 1 to the power 16 means plus. So 1 minus e power minus j pi k 16 by, this is 8, not 8, this is not 8, not 18. 8, it will be 8, okay? I don't know, 1
Yes.
is there, it is 8. Now this will be equal to pi by e to the power j pi k 16 by 8, j to the power j
2 pi k
by 8. 2 pi k, right?
8 na.
8 na. So it will be equal to 1 minus cos 2 pi k plus j sin 2 pi k. Have? Hello.
আমাকে তাপিদা ফোন করেছিল, ওর সাথে কথা বলছিল, ওই জন্য ফোনটা তুলতে হয়নি।
এক মিনিট। নাও আস্তে
তোমাকে বলছিলাম আমি ইয়ার জন্য, ওই যে তোমাদের রেশন টেশন এনেছে কিনা কি দিচ্ছ।
অভিদীপ মিউট কর।
ওকে। নাও 1
আগের
minus
লাইনটা
এইটা
ই টু দি পাওয়ার ওখানে কি না এই তারপরেরটা ওটা হ্যাঁ
তাহলে এইটা যদি এটা তো 1 হবে না বললাম 8 হবে, তাহলে এটা হবে ই টু দি পাওয়ার জে 2 পাই কে
হ্যাঁ
হবে ই পাওয়ার
16 টা আমি ওখানে ওখানে ইয়ে করে নিচ্ছি কেন, ঢোকাচ্ছি কেন, মানে
আর টু
মাইনাসটা তো কেন বুঝলাম।
না না না, কিন্তু প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে ধরো r টু দি এইটার পাওয়ার যদি n হয় তাহলে
হ্যাঁ
-1 টু দি পাওয়ার 16 এইটা কি হবে 16 মাল্টিপ্লাই হয়ে যাবে তো,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ
a স্কয়ার কিউব তাহলে a টু দি পাওয়ার 6 হবে তো,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
তাহলে এটা
আচ্ছা
16 দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লাই হবে, so it will be
আচ্ছা 2
for
হয়ে
j
যাবে
pi k by 16 by 8 not 18, one is wrong.
ঠিক আছে
Okay, so j pi k by 8, that means it will be 1 minus e to the power j 2 pi
2
k,
পাই। হুম
2 pi k তাহলে 1 minus cos 2 pi k plus j sin 2 pi k,
হুম
উপরটা হলো তো। নাও
হুম
নিচের টার্মটা কি হবে 1 plus this, so if I take common, so e power j pi k by 16 I am taking common, তাহলে এটা কত হবে বলো তো e to the power plus j pi k,
প্লাস হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ
আর
হ্যাঁ
এটা হবে e to the power minus j pi k by 16 হবে।
হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা তাহলে এটা হয়ে যাবে cos 2 cos pi k by 16, এই জিনিসটা e to the power j theta plus equal minus j theta equal to 2 cos theta, so this will be 2 pi দিয়ে হলো, আর এটা হলো 1 minus cos 2 pi k, আর নিচে এটা কি হবে e to the উপরে যাবে e to the power j pi k by 16, so this will be e power minus j pi j to the power plus, because this minus when it will go to numerator then it will be e to the power j pi k by 16. Now what will be the value of k? K will be 0 comma 1 comma n minus 1, so k will be 0 1 up to 15. Agreed?
yes, sir.
So this will be the solution. So for such kind of problem, when you are having 14 15 12 10 elements or 16 elements, maybe 24 elements or 40 elements, in such a case finding the W matrix or twoidal factor matrix is quite difficult, in the sense it consists of very large number of elements. For n equal to 16 it will be 256 elements, n equal to suppose 24, n equal to 24 means it will be 576 elements. Therefore for writing one matrix 3 hours of the exam will be over, right? So therefore for such kind of problem this will be the method of the solution. Okay, now shall I proceed to next problem? Next problem is nothing but a proof, that is called frequency shift. Frequency shift, before this property, that what I explained in the today first lecture, that circular convolution is there when there is any negative or any negative value of time, right? X1 of minus m or x2 of minus m, then we always understand it will be modulo n operation. Okay, now in this, suppose x of n having dft x of k, n point dft, then if I multiply a phase term with the signal, so x of n e power j 2 pi mn by n, then corresponding dft will be x of k minus m modulo n. Now this is m, so it will be x of k minus m modulo n. Okay, now we'll prove this property. dft of xm n e power j 2 pi mn by n. What is the formula? N equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of n e power j 2 pi n mn minus e to the power j 2 pi k n by n. Then if you organize this, n equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of n e power j 2 pi n by n m minus k. If I take common, e power j 2 pi by n into n, this will be m minus k. So this is m minus k. Now what I am writing, suppose we have got this form Now, what is the general definition? You look here. X of k equal to n equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of n e power minus j 2 pi k n by n. Okay, so it is a negative sign. So first I have to organize this into negative sign. So e power j 2 pi by n into n, this term, and this is becomes k minus n. Now, if this is xk with e to the power minus j 2 pi n by n into k, now e to the power minus j 2 pi n by n into k minus m means it will be k minus m. Now, since there is a minus m, you always write n. So any negative, we will write a modulo n operation. Therefore, this proves the property that when the signal is multiplied by phase term, correspondingly there will be a frequency shift. There will be a frequency shift. Of course, this is a circular frequency shift. Okay, circular frequency shift, that is called x of k minus m model. This proves the property. If it is okay,
স্যার
বলো।
স্যার একবার রিপিট করবেন, আমার বেরিয়ে গিয়েছিল।
আচ্ছা, ভয়েস শোনা যাচ্ছে? বাকি শুনতে পেয়েছো?
হ্যাঁ
Okay.
হ্যাঁ স্যার শুনতে পাচ্ছি।
আচ্ছা, so what I am saying that when the signal is multiplied by phase term, means signal magnitude remains same, a phase term is multiplied. That corresponding effect in the DFT is a circular frequency shift. Right? What does it mean? That if I multiply this xn with a phase term, then if I want to find the DFT of the corresponding term, then it will be n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e power j 2 pi n into mn into e power 2 pi kn. Now you can write n equal to 0 to n minus 1 xn e power plus j 2 pi by n common. If small n you could take common, it will be m minus k. Okay. Now to keep track with the original form of DFT, what it says x of k n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e power minus j 2 pi kn by n. What does it mean? E to the power minus j 2 pi by n into n, if it is multiplied by k, it becomes x of k. Therefore, I am writing minus j 2 pi by n into n from here to here, that will be k minus n. So now if it is k minus 2 pi by n into k, so I will write xk. So minus 2 pi by n into k minus n, I will write x of k minus n. But if anything is negative, then I said it will be a modulus operation or modulo n operation. That is, if it is an n-point DFT, it will be modulo n. So corresponding effects, if I want to study in frequency domain, it will be a frequency shift, but it is a circular frequency shift. All right. So multiplication of phase term in time domain of the signal, then this will introduce circular shift in frequency in the frequency domain. Agreed? Is it okay?
Yes.
yes sir.
Bas. Next topic. So this you remember. Property. This property result is important in next derivations we will see. Okay. Now next thing, what is there? Suppose x1 of n having DFT x1 of k and x2 of n having DFT x2 of k. Now DFT of this is multiplication. I said in circular convolution that in DFT we discuss or we talk of only circular convolution. There is no linear convolution. And circular convolution we denote by a cross, then we put a circle. Now multiplication of two signals, suppose x1 of n, x2 of n, then we are denoting this by a star. So DFT of, I am finding what? x1 of n, x2 of n, the product of two signal. So product of two signal, I am trying to find the DFT. And what would be the result? 1 by n convolution of x1 of k, x2 of k. Okay, convolution of x1 of k, x2 of k. Of course, this is a circular convolution. You should have to put a circle. I didn't put, so you have to put a circle. Okay. Now
সার্কুলার কনভলিউশন
circular convolution. Okay.
now
Now
এদিকটা স্যার নরমাল মাল্টিপ্লিকেশন
normal multiplication. x1 of n multiplied by x2 of n. Okay, a normal multiplication that will lead into circular convolution in frequency domain. Agreed? Have you understood what is the statement of the property? Now let me prove this. First of all, you know from the definition of inverse DFT. Inverse DFT, what is the definition? X1 of n equal to 1 by n, k equal to 0 to n minus 1, x1 of k equal j 2 pi kn by n. Is it all right? Definition of inverse
Yes,
DFT.
sir.
X1 of n
Yes, sir.
having DFT x1 of k. So what I can write from the definition of inverse DFT? I can write x1 of n equal to 1 by n, k equal to 0 to n minus 1, x1 of k equal j 2 pi kn by n. Okay, this I can write. Now I am changing the variable k to m. If I change it k to m, then I will write m equal to 0 to n minus 1, because if k equal to 0, m equal to 0. If k equal to n minus 1, m equal to n minus 1. So I am writing m equal to 0 to n minus 1. This step to this step is nothing but a change of variable. Then ky will replace by m. Here also ky will replace by m. And this become 1 by n, m equal to 0 to n minus 1. This. Is it all right? I hope so. Next, the problem DFT of x1 of n, x2 of n. So DFT of product of x1 of n, x2 of n. I'm trying to find out. That I can write n equal to 0 to n minus 1, x1 of n, x2 of n, e power minus j 2 pi kn by n. Is it all right, this step?
yes
Okay. Now what I am doing, I am writing the value of x1 of n which I have obtained here. Now I am writing this value 1 by n, m equal to 0 to n minus 1, x1 of n, e power minus j 2 pi mn by n. I have written x1 of n. This n equal to 0 to n minus 1 I have taken here. I have substituted x1 of n. Then I am left with x2 of n, e power minus j 2 pi kn by n. Is it all right, this step? Okay. I hope this step is okay. Means this step to this step, this step to this step, how I have derived? I have substituted the value of x1 of n. x1 of n I have substituted for this x1 of n. I have substituted this whole thing that I have obtained from here. That I have substituted. Now I have written x2 of n here. Then e power minus j 2 pi kn by n. Agreed? Any doubt? I have no doubt, right? Now, if I take 1 by n, m equal to 0 to n minus 1, m equal to 0 to n minus 1, then I have taken x1 of m here. Then what? So I have taken 1 by n out, m equal to 0 to n minus 1 here, x1 of m here. Now taking this summation here, so n equal to 0 to n minus 1, okay? Then what I am having? x2 of n I have taken, e power minus j 2 pi kn by n taken, e power j 2 pi mn by n I have taken here. Why I have taken here? The reason because that the summation is over n and this term containing n, right? If I take the summation over n equal to 0 to n minus 1, any term containing n I have to write in the right of the summation. Agreed? So what I am saying, that if I write a summation is suppose say over n, then any term containing n I have to write, or I have to write in the right of the summation. So right of the summation, this is the left of the summation, this is right of the summation. So right of the summation I have to write this term, because this containing the variable n. Okay. Now I have written x2 of n e power j 2 pi kn 2 pi mn by n. Now from this term, what I can write? E power minus j 2 pi, this is n, 2 pi n by n into k minus m. From this term to this term, is it okay? Okay, so if this is okay, then I can write x2 of n e power minus j 2 pi n by n into k minus m. Okay, agreed? Now what is this
Yes,
equal
sir.
to? What is this equal to? This equal to x1 of m into n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x2 n e power j 2 pi n k minus n. This equal to this term equal to what I can write x2 of k minus n, because if you see n equal to 0 to n minus 1 x2 of n this term, then what I am writing that x2 of k minus n.
Yeah.
This term is nothing but dft of x2, but instead of k it is k minus m, so I am writing capital x2 of k minus m. Okay, and if it is k minus m, I have said always you have to write mod n, or in other words you can see, in other words also you can write this from this step directly you can write, because suppose x2 of n e power minus j 2 pi kn by n, this is the equation up to this. This is nothing but dft of x2 of n. See, if I write n equal to 0, this up to this term is dft of x2 of n. Then if I multiply with a phase term, I have derived earlier this equation. If signal is multiplied with a phase term, then what I am writing? X of k minus m modulo n. Yes.
Yes.
So this is the multiplication of complex exponential or a phase term in the signal. So that will be x of k minus n. Similarly, if you look at here, then x2 of n, this x2 of n is multiplied with a phase term. So it is multiplied by phase term. What will be the corresponding DFT? This will be x2 of k minus m n. Agreed?
Yes.
Previous step it is x of k minus m. Now it will be x2 of k minus m mod m. Anything negative, I said you have to write mod m. Now this is the equation you have got, right? So for this particular term, we have got x2 of k minus m mod m. Okay. Now x1
এখানে লিমিট m is equal to 0 to হবে না?
you are correct. Yeah. This will be m equal to 0 to n minus 1. Correct. So instead of n, it will be m, because this limit will come as m equal to 0. I will correct it and send the note. Okay, this correction I will do. So this will be m equal to 0 to n minus 1. So it will be x1 of n, x2 of k minus n, because this is m, this will come, because for this particular thing, this value will be x2 of k minus m modulo n. Okay, for this particular thing, this up to this, right? This particular thing, it is x2 of k minus m mod m, x1 m is coming, and this will be m equal to 0 to n. So instead of n, this will be m. Correct? Acha. Now, if you look at the equation of circular convolution, equation কোথায় আছে? This is the equation of circular convolution, and you have the equation of circular convolution here. Where I have given you the equation. See, this is the equation of circular convolution. Like this is the equation. So if x1 of n, x2 of n are the two signals, then what is the circular convolution? This will be m equal to 0 to n minus 1, x1 of m, x2 of n minus n. So see, this is the limit m, x1 of m, x2 of minus m, this is n. This is the circular convolution, and m equal to 0 to n. The circular convolution of what? X1 and X2. Now, if you look at the equation here, this is x1 of m, this is x2 of minus m, and this is k. This is m. So this if this limit is m, this is m, this will be m. So this will be nothing but circular convolution of x1 of k, x2 of k. Agreed? Agreed?
Yes.
So this will be circular convolution of x1 of k, x2 of n minus k. So I have to make one correction here, that this n will be equal to, এখানে সার্কেলটা দিতে হবে, তাহলে একটা কারেকশন m equal to লিখতে হবে, একটা কারেকশন এখানে সার্কেলটা করতে হবে, and I have to require one more correction, that will be 8, where I have written
8.
8. So I will correct this thing and I will send you this note. If you have any doubt, I have less than 5 minutes, 4 minutes left. If you have any doubt, you can ask. So far what we have discussed.
স্যার ফার্স্টে যেটা ইয়ে করেছিলেন, এক্সাম্পল দিয়েছিলেন, ওখানে ওই সাইনেরটা পাই আসছে বলে কি ক্যান্সেল করে দিলেন? 1 মাইনাস ওইটা দেখান, এইটা নিচে,
এইটা
হ্যাঁ এইখানটা,
সাইন
হ্যাঁ যে সাইন 2 পাই মানে n পাই হয় 0 ওই জন্য ক্যান্সেল করে দিলেন।
হ্যাঁ, সাইন n পাই ইকুয়াল টু 0, n ইকুয়াল টু 2 3 4 1 5 যাই হোক, সাইন n পাইটা হচ্ছে কি অলওয়েজ 0. That's why we term is not written. This is okay. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask. So what we have discussed today, so what I have discussed today, one problem, and I have discussed one more thing, that any negative thing in DFT or circular convolution, anything negative, we understand it's a modulo n operation, right? Then we have seen that in the convolution, circular convolution equation. That is one thing I have mentioned. This problem, what I said, this problem I have discussed only one problem, but its problem could be modified. It would be 2 to the power n, it may be 3 to the power n, it will be minus 1 to the power n, minus 8 to the power n, anything could be there, and only n will be specified, right? So for any such problem, this is the solution method. So I have discussed only one problem, and I will give you probably 1 or 2 question in your quiz or assignment. Okay, but any such problem, this is the solution method. When the number of element is more. For 4 element, what you have to do, you have to follow the matrix method. This is the simplest approach, is the matrix method for 4 element. Okay, and for 4 element, I have also told you that how to write the two ideal factors simply from the diagram. From the diagram, you can write quickly two ideal factor, W40, W41 by rotating pi by 2, pi by 2, right? So for 4 element, you follow the matrix method, what I have discussed, by writing the diagram. If number of element is more than that, then you follow this method. Follow this method of solution. Okay, this is 2 things. And then I have discussed that multiplication of phase term is corresponding frequency shift, and application of this property is nothing but multiplication in time domain, correspondingly circular convolution in the frequency domain, right? So I hope it's all right. Any doubt if you have, you can ask. We are having 1 minute left, or otherwise I have to close for the today. I'm having next class when? Tuesday. আচ্ছা, so far বলো।
সে বলছে ম্যাট্রিক্স মেথডে আরেকটা এক্সাম্পল দেখাবেন না, মানে বিভিন্ন রকম ভ্যালু নিয়ে।
ম্যাট্রিক্স মেথডে মানে ম্যাট্রিক্স মেথড ওই কনভলিউশনে
সার্কুলার কোন?
হ্যাঁ ডেফিনেটলি, এটা আমি দেখিয়ে দেবো। এটা কেউ বলেছে, তুমিও বললে, এটা আমি পরের ক্লাসে একটা এক্সাম্পল অন্য ভ্যালু নিয়ে দেখিয়ে দেবো, ঠিক আছে? মানে
ওয়ানটা আলাদা ভ্যালু,
হ্যাঁ চারটা ভ্যালু, মানে 1 2 3 4 লাইক দ্যাট, তাই না? এই ধরনের 1 to 1 2 তে একটা কনফিউশন হচ্ছে যে এটা কিভাবে 1 থেকে 5 নিয়ে আসবো। ঠিক আছে, I understood the problem. So next class I will discuss one example in that, using that, and I will send you the notes with some little bit of correction. And next class, if everything goes well, we may go to the some other topic. We may start some other topic, and I will give you one assignment today, right? One assignment that you will solve and give the when you will I mean I will first give you the assignment, you try, then after that what I will do, I will solve those things. If there is a doubt, then only you have to submit the assignment later part. Okay,